guys, Mara here and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a try on of all of the drugstore products I've hauled lately. I did an entire haul video where I hauled a crap ton of makeup products. I'm using a few of them today. In that video I did have a couple of them on and I did give you like my first impressions on a few of them, but I wanted to go ahead and do a more in-depth look at some of the products actually being applied to my face and what I think of them as we go along. I think everything on my face is new. I don't think I used one not new item. So everything on my face is brand new from the drugstore. The drugstore is spewing out new products. Recently, I just have been seeing new displays everywhere and I've been picking up things that intrigue me as I go. So if you guys want to see me testing out new drugstore products, then please continue watching and let's get right into the video. Okay guys, to start off the look, I'm going to take my NYX Honey Do Me Up primer. I didn't find a new primer that I really liked from the drugstore or that spoke to me. Physicians Formula just came out with a mattifying primer. I'm not really into mattes, so that's why I didn't pick it up. So I'm just going to use this one from the drugstore that I know that I like. For foundation, I'm going to be using the new Wet n Wild Photofocus foundation. Mine's in the shade Shell Ivory. I'm not really sure if this is my exact shade, but I went ahead and picked this one up. I think there was one lighter than this, but this one looked more my skin tone. Oh, it has a little paddle as well. Not what I was expecting, but I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my face. Okay, that color doesn't look bad. This kind of smells like paint, so it's throwing me off a little bit. I'm then going to take this new Real Techniques diamond sponge. I'm really excited to use this because when I pulled it out, the density of it dry was very, very similar to the Beauty Blender. I had to think there for a second, but I did dampen mine. It did puff up a little bit, and I'm using the big flat side to blend this into my face. I can't get over the smell of this foundation. It smells like paint. Okay, so I don't know if it was the sponge or the product itself, but it didn't really build up a lot, so I'm just going to add a little bit more where I get redness in my cheeks and a little bit on my forehead and chin. And I'm going to blend that in as well because it really sheared out. I don't know if the sponge soaked it up or if it's just a more light coverage foundation. I love the tip of the sponge because it can get really nice and close up to my eye. Okay, so the foundation itself looks decent. It's not really caking up around my dry patches yet. I will let you know by the end of the video. It is a more light, maybe to medium coverage foundation. I would say more light. I did have to apply 2 layers as you saw. The color itself I believe worked really well. It does say that the Shell Ivory is a fair neutral tone, so I think I picked the right one there, but we'll see how it starts looking as I go through the video because I always judge a foundation based on if it cracks up around my dry patches. The next product is by Physicians Formula. It is their Physicians Formula Insta Ready Full Coverage Concealer. I got mine in the shade, ooh, dropped it there. I got mine in the shade Fair. Whenever I saw this, I was kind of nervous. It came with this little sponge, which I'm kind of intrigued to use. It's like a little mini sponge. And oh, it's a pump. I didn't realize it was a pump. I thought it was going to be like a wand. So I'm just going to pump this out on the back of my hand, see if I think the color is going to work. I think my pump's broke. It's not pumping out. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's almost the same color as my skin tone. It doesn't quite look fair enough for me, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot anyways. So I applied it to the back of my hand, and then I'm going to take this little sponge that came with it, and I'm going to start, oh, it has a flat edge here too to get really nice and close to the eye, and I'm just going to start applying this under my eyes. I actually think I'm going to dip my finger in and apply it. So far it's very creamy but thick at the same time. It says it's full coverage, so the thickness kind of reminds me of the Tarte Shape Tape, but it doesn't have the same finish, I don't believe. I'm going to bring it up on my eyelids as well so that I can prime my eyelids because I did not find a eyelid primer that was new. The finish of this concealer reminds me of the Maybelline Fit Me. but it's a lot more full coverage. The next product here is the Wet n Wild Photofocus Pressed Powder. I picked this up. They launched all these new powders with their new foundations, and mine's in the shade Warm Light. I'm gonna grab my trusty Real Techniques brush, and I'm going to set my under eye. I'm afraid this concealer is really gonna crease because it's so, not greasy, but it has that like dewy finish. I can feel it like tacky. I can feel it on the brush that it's pretty tacky. Okay, so let's check the foundation and see what it looks like, and I'll see if I want to set my entire face. Okay, so it looks like it's oxidizing a little bit on my face. It's becoming a little bit orange. So I'm going to go ahead and set that, so we'll try to prevent a little bit of that oxidation process. I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and dip into that powder. The good thing about that foundation though is that it hasn't caked up around my nose or my forehead yet, and normally if a foundation is going to cake up, it will start caking because I am so dry there, but it is oxidizing pretty heavily. My skin's looking a little bit orange on my face as compared to my neck. I don't know if you guys can tell. Okay, so going in with bronzer, I picked up this new Revlon compact, and it says it's the new shade. It's called Bronze Beauty. I was looking at this. Okay, I hate these little brushes. But I've had my eye on this bronzer for a while since I saw that it launched, and because it looks like it's more of a neutral tone drugstore bronzer. A lot of times bronzers from the drugstore can be a little bit warm in tone, especially for my skin tone. So I have a little bit of trouble finding a bronzer that works for me. So I want to give this one a shot because I think it looks like it might work. I'm just going to take my e.l.f. complexion brush and warm up my cheeks a little bit. Okay, so first impression of the bronzer, I really like this bronzer. It kind of reminds me of the tone of the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I believe this one was a little bit cheaper. The butter bronzer can run like $15, I think they sell for. This one, I believe, was $10, so it's a little bit cheaper in price. If you love Revlon, then you're really gonna like this. I think it's a neutral tone bronzer. The next product I have is the Physicians Formula Butter Blush. You guys know I love the butter bronzer from Physicians Formula, and when I saw that they were launching some blushes, I had to pick one up immediately. I picked up the shade Plum Rose. The other one looked a little bit too light for me, and it had like a little bit more shimmer in it, so I went ahead and passed on that one, but I wanted to pick up this nice Plum Rose one. It's almost like a mauve-y pink. It's not too dark though, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply that to my cheeks. Okay, so I really like this blush. It's not too pigmented, so you don't have to be afraid with going in with a heavy hand with this. I kind of tried to get a little bit more pigment out with my brush, like I really dug it in there, but I really like the flush on the cheeks that it gave. It's a really nice mauve-y pink, so perfect for every day, and I love the formula of the butter bronzer, and I'm sure the butter blush is similar in formula. I love the creamy consistency of it. Okay, so here is the color right here. It's a really nice mauve-y pink, and here is the color in the pan. Again, such a really nice neutral everyday kind of blush, and those are my favorite kind of blushes. Okay, for highlighter, I'm so excited to be trying this because I've been wanting to try it. It's the Maybelline Master Strobing Liquid in the shade 100 Light Iridescent. This stuff, Nikki Tutorials has used it, and it looks phenomenal. I'm gonna swatch it right here for you. Look at that intensity. Now, I'm not gonna apply that much on my face because I do have to go to work later, so I don't want something that is like too crazy on my cheeks. I'm gonna apply a little bit to the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna take this mini sponge from the Physicians Formula pack, and I'm gonna kind of dab it on my cheeks. This highlighter is so pigmented, and it dries pretty quickly, so I had to blend it out pretty fast. I really like this highlighter. It was a little bit difficult for me to work with. I need to play with it a little bit more and find the best way to apply it, but it was kind of hard to blend out. It dried down very quickly, so I need to work with, maybe I need to apply it with my fingers first and then just blend it out with my fingers. I'm not really sure how well the sponge is at applying it. I didn't really like it that much, but overall the pigmentation is phenomenal. The formula seems to be really good, and it's not glittery at all. It's just a really nice iridescence or sheen. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the eyes. I'm not gonna do anything too fancy today. I wanted to use my 24 karat nudes from Maybelline. I've been wanting to try this. I haven't tried any of their other palettes like this, but I've heard mixed reviews on them. They're not like phenomenal, but I wanted to go ahead and give this one a shot because it does have some nice mattes in here. But I'm gonna take this fluffy brush and dip into this matte cream shade, and I'm just going to start applying this into my crease, just pretty much everywhere, just so that everything blends out nice and smoothly. I'm actually going to pick up more of this matte cream shade and mix just a tiny bit of this other matte brown shade, just to like deepen it up a little bit. And I'm going to go into my crease area. I'm going to take this shader brush and I'm going to dip into the champagne shade right here. I'm going to apply this all over my lid. I love like champagne shades like this for an all over the lid color. I'm going to take this matte, it's like a dark blue black shade, and I'm going to deepen up the outer V of my eye. I'm going to take that fluffy brush and I'm just going to blend that shadow out. And then I'm going to take that bullet brush again and I'm going to take the purple shade in the palette and I'm going to drag this on my lower lash line. I love applying purples to my lash line because it really makes my eyes pop, like brown eyes. Purple's really nice for any eye color really to make them pop. Okay, then I'm going to take this white shimmery shade and I'm going to highlight my brow bone. Doesn't really have very much pigmentation. Let me get a different brush here. I'm also using that white shade as my inner corner highlight. Okay, after I've done that, I'm going to apply my Maybelline Colossal Big Shot Mascara. This is new from Maybelline, and I will be right back. I really enjoy the mascara. It does leave my lashes, I've used this a few times. It does leave my lashes a little bit crispier than I like. It's a little bit more difficult to remove in the mornings. I like a more soft lash, kind of like the Maybelline Lash Sensational. It does give some really nice volume, so if you're looking for a good volumizing mascara that's new, check this one out. The next thing I'm going to do, which I completely forgot to do, is my brows, and I'm going to use the Maybelline Brow Precise. I've used this once before. It's not my favorite. It's a little bit difficult, more difficult to use than like my Maybelline or my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. That one is like holy grail for me. It's so creamy. It reminds me of the Anastasia Brow Wiz. This one's just a little bit tougher. I have to push a little bit harder in my brows, but still a decent product. My favorite new brow product though is the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. I love this product. I have been using this non-stop. It's perfect to use on its own or in conjunction with a brow pencil like I'm doing today. It's a really nice like gel consistency, but it adds some volume to your brows, but it keeps them in place at the same time. I love it. And the wand, as I said and talked about in my haul video, it is amazing. It doesn't leave a mess in my brows, which I find happens a lot with a spoolie type of wand. This is just perfect to really get the shape that I want. So I am in love with this product. It has become so important in my makeup routine, and I know that I will continue to love it. Okay, so after I've done my brows, I'm going to go ahead and apply a lip product. I picked up a bunch of the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit lipsticks, the new liquid lipsticks from Wet n Wild. Okay, so I have my lipstick on. It is, again, Wet n Wild's Rebel Rose. I am obsessed with this color. It's a really pretty, like, dusty rose shade. It's a really sophisticated pink color. I love it so, so much. And that completes this video. Some things that really stood out to me. I really love the Wet n Wild lipstick. The Maybelline 24 karat Nudes is actually pretty decent. Really impressed with that. I love the brow product, well, the brow fiber gel. Not really a big fan of the Maybelline pencil. The butter blush I really enjoyed as well, and the bronzer I really liked. So if you're looking for a good neutral bronzer, check out the Revlon Bronze Beauty one because that one is really nice. that completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this testing out of drugstore products. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!